no wonder the shooting on both sides weren't very good because there weren't a lot of easy ones. I mean, just trying to get away and get some space to try to get into a rhythm of a shot. But really, I thought some key plays. I thought D. Stone's little floater was a huge play in the game. That was a big one. Igor's steal was a big one. Obviously, Jordan's there at the end, but both teams made plays, and we just really had the ball at the end of the game and last one. But both teams played hard. I mean, it's obviously the hardest, most physical game we've been in all year, and it was a good one.
How much could you feel that momentum shift when D Stone was kind of shifting the game in about that 90-second span?
Well, we were, when you're sitting there thinking, how long do we want to go with Z out, and how long do you want to, keep guys out? Chad was in foul trouble too, but we just, what really kept us in it was our defense. Obviously, Shaq did a phenomenal job. I mean, his defense throughout that game was terrific. Early, I didn't think our ball screen coverage was what it needed to be, and we knew going in we were going to get screened somewhere between 75, 80, 90 times, which pretty much played out that way. I thought both teams were looking to really be physical with their screens, and but that point of the game where we were, as coaches, talking about, do we want to go back or how long we want to wait, and actually even talked about maybe going zone and putting those guys back in and protect them that way. But we just kept, just going with what we were feeling through the game and how we felt our guys were playing. And when his little floater was a big one, the three was a big one too, because they adjusted after he made that three, where they, instead of backing off a couple guys, they stretched the floor and allowed, I thought, Jordan to get a little bit more movement.
How have you seen Jordan Gainey develop as a ball handler?
He's good with that. I mean, Jordan's, he's a guard. He going against, you guys watch me in practice, going against Z and those guys every day. You got to get better with it. But he's developed so much with his cardio conditioning. That's where he's so much better. And defensively, I mean, he's gotten better all around with everything that he does. But his cardio is at just a totally different level than it was a year ago. And going back to that point about that stretch there, Bishop, he made some big time plays. I mean, his offensive rebounds, defensively forced a turnover on a really, we didn't handle the coverage, but he stayed into play and a walk was created from it. But all those guys, those were critical moments, and those guys proved they were ready for that moment.
What did you learn about Bishop that maybe you didn't know before? Did he just affirm the things you felt like you already did know about him?
Well, I mean, there's no doubt we believe in him. We know he can help us. He's tough, hard nosed. I thought he played offensively at a pace that we've always wanted him to, and he's never done it. I mean, he's always been a little bit too sped up in practice and games, but the pace and the focus he had going in, I mean, he knew exactly what he wanted to get done out there, and that was when we were really playing through Jordan, and he did a great job using his dribble to attack space. I told him yesterday during film, didn't mess with the ball, didn't put it behind his back, didn't try to overdo anything, just got the ball where it needed to be, delivered the ball where it needed to be delivered. And defensively, I mean, he half this problem on defense, he's so locked in and wanting to play so hard, he's anxious and he gets himself out of position. But I thought, again, I just really impressed with his poise and his demeanor and really the tempo that he played with.
Last week was pretty hectic with going to New York, going to Illinois. What do you feel like you learned about your team last week?
Well, I don't know if the trips make a difference. I mean, it does wear on you a little bit, and going into a different time zone some. But I think every day you learn a little bit more about your team. I mean, our older guys, we know what we feel like we need to get from them. But think about it, as a guy, I mean, he's always disrupting games, and what we probably learned as much as anything Saturday is that we probably can rest him more, and because he goes so hard at it, and you guys know him, when he makes a mistake he wants to get it back, and sometimes he compounds it, but he just plays so hard, and if we can continue to build with Bishop, Jordan's no question, and we get Cam back, we can we want to get back. You know, our whole goal all year was to really try to stay at 94 feet as long as we could defensively and work that way. But you know, with guys being down low numbers, we haven't been able to do that the last couple of weeks. But I just think what we've learned, and I'm not just saying this, we know watching film yesterday, there's a lot of areas that we've got to get better with, and more consistent, and it goes more to probably individual players, knowing what we point out to them where they've got to take it up to, and it's everybody. I said to them yesterday, it's coaches getting better, players getting better, and when you're in December, you've got to be real and look at film and realize, hey, you know, yeah, we've done this or that, but we've got a long way to go to get where we need to be.
Coach, you guys got ranked #1, but you hadn't been in one like that. How much, when you talk about team building, chemistry, when Igor and Chaz, you know, go through that and win, you know, how much does that help, you know, those guys with?
Well, I think it will. I mean, because again, just I think our guys have really shown the utmost respect for our opponents and getting in their preparation, getting ready. Again, we'll do it again today, getting ready for Western Carolina tomorrow. They've done that. I mean, every game they've had great respect for our opponent, knowing that, and that's something we talked about yesterday, where shoot around, you can tell it's the consistency of Zakai and really Jemai, where they're talking and trying to explain to guys why we do it this way. And I actually said to a couple of them yesterday during film, hey, you guys are going to have to understand the importance of what we're doing with these scouts. And you listen to these guys, you see why they're on top of it, you hear their communication during the game. And that's an area that we've got to get better with guys. And it was really, Bishop has really improved there quickly, you know, understanding that his prep, not just on the court, but off the court, is important.
What impressed you? Go ahead. What impressed you most about the team's composure in the game against Illinois? I think, especially with like the veteran leaders you have, that might be the biggest difference in the team this year.
Well, you know, I thought we had good leadership last year with our guys, but you look at our team. They all have different personalities, and I really respect the way they like each other. They, you know, when I sit back, waiting for them to come into the film room and hearing them in their locker room and hear their camaraderie and you know, that's a neat thing. That's a huge part of what we're doing. And but you look at Igor; he's been around. He's played. Chaz has played a lot of minutes, certainly the last year and a half. But I can't underestimate, and we don't underestimate what, you know, Shaq and Z bring, and Jordan. Jordan's become a huge part of it too. I mean, he's a little bit quieter than those guys, but he's a person that they're believe me, what he did the other day, we've seen him do it in practice. So, you know, when we told him, hey, we're going to play through you, you got to start moving. He had to do a great job moving without the ball, because they really make you have to cut to get loose and get away from people. But you know, the leadership's great. I mean, we wouldn't be where we were. This group didn't care about each other, like each other, and again, continue to push each other.
Seemed like kind of a rough week for Felix. Was there any consistent theme in terms of anything going wrong, and how do you kind of get him back to where he was?
He'll get back. I mean, because he cares so much. I mean, I think sometimes when we've seen players go through it, and we'll have some more guys at this year at some point in time go through some struggles. I mean, was really proud that, you know, Igor missed a lot of shots, but he kept taking his open shots. I mean, so, you know, it's just a matter of time. You feel he's going to snap out of that himself. But the same with Felix, you know, again, he's maybe a little anxious right now because he's hard on himself, and he's wanting to be aggressive. And, you know, this first foul, he just overly aggressively on it. Ball screen, late getting out there and hit. Those are the things where he can fix that. He can clean that up, and he will.
What are the points of emphasis these final 3 games before getting into
Getting better. It is. It's about every day. It's not. It's a day. You know, it's the process we go through today. We came in yesterday and started our what we always do: scrub out the last game, then get ready. We started prep on this one yesterday and continue today. And we're not just talking about the team. It's individual. We're the individual stuff we keep breaking down with these guys, showing them where they've got to improve, and it's all about improving and continue to grow.
Coach, I know you got a couple of weeks left, but I mean, how much have you been looking at the league and just kind of thinking, man, this is going to be a war?
Well, it is. I think every league is. This one, it's kind of historic what this league's doing right now, and obviously I can't imagine ever being a better preseason run from any league in a long, long time. What the SEC has done, but it's great for us because now you're thinking about postseason. How many maybe games you could be under 500 and still be in the tournament because what's happening in the non-league and what that might play out with the strength of schedules and the way we've competed against outside conferences. But it's going to be brutal. It is. There's no doubt about it. And we've got teams in the league that have certainly had good, the teams I've watched, I've been impressed with every team in our league, every team. And I haven't had a chance to see them all. But and it's been spotty when I've been able to see them, obviously. But this league is what it's done right now is really phenomenal.
You say you schedule with a purpose. What does Western Carolina bring that can help you guys, and what was the purpose of this game?
Well, you look at every team in the country. If you follow schedules, everybody's going to have what we call bye games, and I think you go into those games one. We try to do that. We put a lot of thought into that, making sure we can try to, get something out of it, and obviously, and we know this, and we tell our team, every team we schedule, if we're not ready to play,